and welcome to another episode of the Black and White Thinking Podcast. You are once again joined by Chick and G.
Hello.
How's it going?
Alright. How's it going with you?
Yeah, alright, not the best. But
Sure, not to worry.
yeah, that's not what I need to hear right now. Right, so straight on to this week's topic. What are we talking about?
We are discussing potatoes versus Nshima.
Potatoes versus Nshima. That's basically Irish versus Zambian.
Yeah, I guess it's the national carb
Yeah.
of each nation.
So I assume most people are going to know what a potato is, and I'd like to think 99.9% of people will know what a potato is. Whereas Nshima, how would you describe Nshima?
It is ground up corn, essentially.
And how do you eat it?
With a spoon. Well, you eat it on the side of things.
Yeah, okay.
It cooked, you just boil it up with water and stir it furiously and hope you don't scald yourself violently.
That sounds a bit...
And then some people decide to eat it with their hands.
Yeah, most people eat it with hands.
And those with sense use cutlery.
With sense. So I think you better watch what you're saying. Because there will be a whole Zambian community that's hearing this. And to be fair, for all the jokes that you make, we eat Nshima more now because of you.
I love it.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, that wasn't the best explanation. It just all sounded very violent.
It's ground up corn that you boil up in water and stir until
it becomes harder.
Hard.
Well, it's not hard.
Like spongy.
Yeah. So we would have always described it like a harder mash, but it's malleable in your hands. It's kind of like rice. If you like put it in your hands and like roll it up, it's just there isn't a consistency to.
Well, I mean, there are lots of variations of it across Africa, aren't there?
Yeah, but it's all based on the same thing.
Isn't there one made from cassava?
But that's instead of cornmeal, and we have cassava. So basically, you can mold it with your hands, and yes, you'd eat it with your protein, your veg.
It's like a bland accompaniment for other more flavorful things.
Well, that's how you'd have it if it was Nshima, but it wouldn't be bland if it was like porridge, for example. But I guess that's the whole point of now choosing which one are you going to get rid of.
Well, I feel like, first of all, I'm always amazed that there isn't even salt added to it.
Yeah.
Which is shocking in your parents' house.
Yeah, because you add the salt into the other things.
I know, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like no seasoning added to it whatsoever.
But you have seen their plates with the salt on the side so they can dip in.
And I mean, it's one way, really.
Yeah.
I feel like hundreds of years ago, Zambians decided on the food they were going to eat, and it would never change.
No, it's not that it never changes, because like I said, there's Nshima, there's porridge, like there are different things you can, like you make drinks with it. There are different things you can do. It's just it's like potatoes. Someone going, boil it, fry it.
Yeah, but there's loads of different ways you can have potato.
Boiled, fried.
No.
Oh, come on. But if we break it down, let's be honest.
Like dauphinoise potatoes.
Boiled, fried, or baked.
It's neither boiled nor fried.
Baked.
With garlic and cream.
But that doesn't matter, because the point is...
So it's different.
A potato, you boil it, fry it, or bake it. Those are all very simple, basic things.
Well, I don't agree.
And
there's more variety in potato than there is with Nshima.
So you say, but like you've just said, that cassava, there are loads of different...
Yeah, but we're talking about Nshima maize meal, boiled up maize meal.
Yeah, but people would add, even into, like, that's Nshima. Some people, if depending on where you go in Zambia, I don't like cassava, like maize meal. I'll eat the actual, like, root itself, but I don't like it as a meal, or maize meal, whatever, like a ground up.
Well, it can't be maize meal if it's cassava.
But do you know what I mean? Whereas in my family, like growing up, like sometimes Dad would have had his own little pot with with cassava in it. Like, I get your point, but I also feel like you've not had lots of variations of.
And it's one of the rare things in Zambia that isn't cooked with tomato and onion.
Yeah, because it accompanies everything that
I'm
goes
just
with
saying.
tomato and onion. But it's like pasta, isn't it? Like, you don't do much to pasta.
Yeah, but you have various sauces with pasta or different dishes like lasagna or cannelloni or tortellini,
Exactly.
ravioli.
So you'd have different meats,
Baked
different
ziti.
vegetables, different things that accompany the nshima.
I suppose look at it this way: if you only had them in their boiled form, which has more flavour, potato.
If you only had them in the boiled form, I can't. A boiled potato, I go for neither.
I know, but boiled potato has more taste than just boiled up maize meal.
Yeah, but a potato also, you can eat a potato just on its own without doing anything to it. Like, I feel like that's not really
Homemade chips,
but that's what I mean. As in, you'd have chips, you'd have roasties,
crisps.
just on their own. But with Nshima, it's slightly different because
You could make gnocchi with potatoes.
I would make
Palmana.
some kind of gnocchi with. It's like semolina. Semolina is just another version of basically that. So yeah, so it turns out there are loads of things you
Yeah,
can
but
do
you
with
don't
it.
make gnocchi with semolina. Gnocchi
Oh.
is potatoes. And also there are different varieties of potato.
And there are different varieties of Nshima. Nshima isn't just maize meal, like we've just said.
Yeah,
There's
but it's
cassava. There are all the variations you were thinking about across the whole of Africa. It's basically the exact same thing,
just a white sludge.
but it's not always white. Depends again on how refined it is.
Primarily.
Depends on what root you're using. For me, I like potatoes, but I also think Nshima's healthier for you. It's better for you as a carb.
I don't think it is.
Yeah.
It's not.
Well, I feel like as a carb, it's better for you.
Because you could survive longer just on potatoes than you could in Nshima.
How do you know? How? All right, tell us how.
Well, there are more nutrients in a potato. More of the, what's the word? Like amino acids or whatever. I'm not even sure that's the right thing.
And
but
have you looked it up and compared?
yeah, sure, we looked at the nutrients in Nshima. A lot of Nshima is fortified with other nutrients because it is lacking in some of the main nutrients.
But it's also like corn. But if you're comparing like for like,
I think potatoes are more nutritious, especially if you have the skin.
and who eats the skin?
So many people.
Most people don't.
If you have like a baked potato,
and when have we had a baked potato?
or if you roast them with the skin on, which I will do, especially if it's the small potatoes.
Yeah, sometimes.
Sweet potato, nice fries with the skin on.
No.
Yes.
I don't eat them with the skin on.
I know,
but I
but
like raw sweet
you
potato.
have done. So, I mean, I just feel like there's more that you can do with a spud than you can do with Nshima.
I feel like Nshima's just, it's more, what's the word?
Like if you were having fish and chips, for example, you couldn't replace the chips with Nshima and that'd still be nice.
What, as in Nshima and fish?
Yeah.
Yeah, you would.
But it wouldn't be as good.
Because that's your opinion.
Well, the point of this is get rid of one and only have the other.
Yeah, so I'd just have fish in general. But we do have fish. It's just not deep fried. So in that case, are you correct?
Yes.
No.
Because it wouldn't be as good.
That's
like say you went
opinion.
to a chippy and was like, I'll have a fish supper.
Your all right, what if you went to Zambia and went, all right, you can't have anything you have Nshima with, I'm telling you now, you'll just have chips with it.
Perfect.
Yeah, but not everyone would agree with that.
Well, they would be wrong.
Yeah, you can say that. However, you're putting Western food on a plate with an African dish. You can't.
You mean like meatballs?
But they would have had meatballs yesterday.
No, but you know what I mean?
But I wouldn't have had meatballs.
They were good
to me,
though. Anyway.
Yeah,
but homemade chips are top tier.
I do like homemade chips, but I just feel like Nshima's more filling and you feel like it's it's just better for you. Like so for example, if I'm feeling down, like the way I feel today, if someone gave me Nshima with, I don't know, like a T-bone steak or some chicken and beans or pumpkin leaves, that would be my ultimate comfort food. If you gave me a bowl of some type of potato, and like I'm saying, that Nshima, I know I'm expecting with that Nshima, everything else, but if you gave me a bowl of potatoes and it wasn't done right, that would send me over the edge.
Yeah, but I'm not going to do it right.
Yeah, so you see. But you've also been learning to use a fryer, for example, so what if you didn't?
We're not learning to use a fryer. I've been getting used to the fryer that I bought.
Getting used to the fryer. But each time the chips have been slightly different, whereas the Nshima's always the same.
Being progressively better, I think is what you mean.
Alright, progressively better, but that's the point. The Nshima's always been consistent.
Well, depends who makes it.
Yeah, go away. Yeah, don't you start. You should learn how to make it.
I will.
Yeah, you couldn't even... You can laugh all you like. Oh, my arm's tired. Yeah.
What's your point?
Yeah, the point is...
But what about flavour? If you could only have one or the other...
Yeah, well, we know that you don't, like, just have Nshima if you're talking about flavour. Because if I was doing that, then I'd choose porridge. And that would be my own, like... If you're talking about cornmeal...
But that doesn't count as Nshima.
But it's cornmeal.
But it's porridge. We're talking about Nshima as in the way that we always have it.
Yeah, but you're talking about versatility.
Yeah.
The versatility of the
two dishes.
But then you're basically saying a potato, and then you've picked. That's like me saying to you chips or Nshima. Then that's what this should be. Because otherwise, you've given yourself a scapegoat to go, oh, potatoes are so versatile. Well, of course, Nshima's not. So they're also not like for like.
So how many dishes?
Cornmeal or potatoes it should be.
All right, but how many different dishes do they make in Zambia with said maize meal?
Loads of dishes.
So far we've got Nshima and porridge.
Yeah, but that Nshima and porridge, you can do loads of things with the Nshima.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
So with what you have on the side?
No.
Yeah, what a company.
No.
That's the point of making the meal.
Because you can have potato dishes that are just based around the potato. So how many different things that are standalone dishes that you can do with maize meal?
I'm sure there must be quite a lot that people do. But like you said, someone at some point just went, these are our staple foods. Someone's agreed and we still eat those. If it's not broken, don't fix it. If anything, I feel like you're proving my point that people have had to find ways to deal with potatoes, whereas we went, all right, here's a crop, let's make something out of that, and then let's have a variety of things that you can have with that. And it's just easy. But having Nshima with eggs.
It's not easy.
Nshima with vegetables.
It's a flipping nightmare by the looks of it.
It's not a nightmare. By the looks of it, it's not a nightmare.
You need to wear one of those welder's masks to cook it.
But if you grow up eating it, you'd be fine.
I mean, I like it as an accompaniment. Yeah. However, a potato is a superior ingredient.
No, I'd go, if I had to choose, because for me, I'm also looking at cornmeal. If I had to give up cornmeal, I can never have porridge again.
Well,
I'll give up potatoes any day.
In the time that I've known you, you've literally had it 0 times.
Hot porridge?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's a comfort meal, and that porridge actually takes the mick.
No, but you obviously don't like it that much.
No, I love it.
Yeah, but
I grew up eating it.
Evidence would suggest otherwise.
Yeah, because also, how often do I cook?
Almost never.
Yeah, exactly. So if I almost never...
Well, even more to the point.
No, but if I almost never cook, that means, am I going to dictate to you, or you going to make me porridge? No, because even in Nshima, you've not learned how to make Nshima yet.
Well, I have.
But you can't do it.
Well, sorry, I've tried. But as with
not very hard.
Experience of trying to get recipes out of Africans, it's nigh on impossible. Well,
no, it's not, because there are loads of us that learn how to cook without having recipes. You're just used to one way of...
Think of how many times I've asked for a method/recipe how to make Nshima.
But that's what I mean, as in...
I once got a cookery lesson from 3 of you.
But that's...
And none of you agreed any of it.
But that's exactly my point. That we're not taught to use scales and whatever else. we're taught to cook properly. Like, why do you think, in general,
Cook properly.
Let's be honest. In terms of spices and all that, if you go to any Asian household, any African household, you are going to be told that most people that have been taught from other generations are not taught to cook with measurements.
No, but a cup, even number of cups per person would be helpful. But you can't even get that.
I'm sure you'd be able to find it somewhere online, but that
Well, I
just shows
think there's
you
a
as well how we're
recipe
taught.
on the packet,
Yeah, you should try that, to be fair.
but like I said, I've asked for some form of method, and so far drawn a blank.
Well, you didn't even watch me when I was cooking it last time, so how are you going to learn?
Even the simple question, how do you know when it's done?
I told you I live about 10 minutes.
See?
But that's how we were taught.
Yeah, I know, but like even though if I have a recipe, some things you do need to sort of measure out. But the likes of spices and that, I mean, I don't measure out spices myself if I'm cooking, but it's basic things like a carb type thing, or like say pasta, you know, roughly like say 70 odd grams per person, or rice, you know, whatever,
There
just
would
as
be
a
that
guide.
with Nshima, because for example, we were taught, like I'd have been taught a cup and a half or a cup. If you're starting it off, we'll do 4 of you. So it's not that those things aren't there. It's just I think that the point to this is most of us don't even think twice about it, because when we're being taught to make it as kids, it will be something along the lines of here's a cup or something along those lines. Here's the pot that we use all the time for our family of 2, 3, 4, whatever that's going to be. And then you just adapt that depending on then how many people that are going to be in the house.
Potatoes are easier.
It's what?
Potatoes are just easier to manage as well.
Are they though?
Yeah.
I wouldn't completely. I don't like having to wash the Nshima pot, don't get me wrong on that part.
Nightmare.
But I don't know, I feel like that's these really aren't, like, it's not a like for like thing. Because
it doesn't have to be.
I love potatoes, but if we're talking about comfort and my level of what I believe to be nutrition, look, you're saying it's fortified. I don't like that. Doesn't matter because it's being fortified. It still has the right nutrients.
No, but in its raw form, if it was potatoes versus maize meal, potatoes are more nutritious.
But if I had to give one up, I think
and also then, and to that end, it would be me cooking it all the time.
Right, wouldn't you be you cooking it all the time?
Well, 99% of the time in this household, if say we got rid of potatoes and could only ever have Nshima, it would be me cooking it.
But that's not the discussion, is it?
I'm just saying.
Well, yeah, you'd
if
learn.
you decided to get rid of potatoes,
you'd learn.
It would be me cooking Nshima.
Yeah, you'd learn.
And if that were the case, we wouldn't have Nshima very often. I think the last time your mum cooked it, she burnt her eye.
Probably.
It shot out like a bullet and burnt her eye.
But again, like, I guess for me, the choice comes off of the fact that I grew up where there was a point where my dad would have had Nshima every single day. So you get sick of it because you don't want to eat the same thing every single day, even if
it's
like
heavy.
Yeah, exactly.
I honestly feel like it continues to grow it inside you.
But that's why people do eat it 3 times a day.
Oh yeah, it's filling.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be filling.
Is it cheap to buy here?
Here it's not that cheap, but back home, for us it would be cheap. But every household can have Nshima, which means it's cheap enough, I guess. Not every household, but do you know what I mean?
Mm.
Like even if it's people in the village, they'd still be eating Nshima. So I guess as a staple across the whole country, whether you're rich or poor, you would be able to have it. And when I think about it in the terms of, all right, I guess I've had this kind of conversation before when we talk about, like, would I have given up Nshima altogether? For a point in my life, I thought, I'm sick of this. And here I am back eating Nshima.
Whereas you would never get that with potatoes.
No, but I would, if I was eating potatoes every single day, I would have.
Not if it was 100%. Like, say, on rotation, different dishes.
No, but 100%.
Because it wouldn't feel like you're eating the same thing every day, whereas with Nshima, it feels like the same thing every time.
But it doesn't feel like, no, because again...
No, no, it literally is this exact same thing every time you have Nshima.
Oh no, because it's a different experience.
No, it's not. It's Nshima is the same thing every single time.
Yeah, but it's what you have it with.
Yeah, but
makes it
the
exciting.
thing itself is literally 100% the same every single time. So if you were to have Nshima cooked the way that you cook it every single day, it would be exactly the same thing. Whereas with spuds, you could have a different thing every day, so it wouldn't feel like you were eating spuds every day.
But this is why I
you wanted to agree there.
No,
in your
I don't
head
want to
went,
agree
I don't want to agree.
because no, I'm genuinely trying to think about it from your point.
So you could have, like, say, soup of some kind, like potato and leek soup.
But you're still adding stuff to that to make it something else. So it's not just it's potato and leek. So in
Yeah, but
with
that's
vegetables.
the thing. No.
This
Because it's not the same.
What do you mean?
Like in Nshima, it's still the same, even if you add things to, like, and you're saying add things, you don't even add things, like you use it as your receptacle to carry the food to your mouth.
Like pasta with different sauces.
But
rice.
It's literally, even if you add things to it, it's still the same. Whereas if you add things to potato, it's not 100% the same every time.
But you've not had it with things added to it, because that's my example of porridge. You've not even tried.
Well, I've had it with various accompaniments.
You've only had it with accompaniments.
Yeah.
So you can't make the most informed decision.
I can.
No, you can't.
I can.
You can only go for your bias of loving potatoes.
I can.
You can only go out for your bias of loving potatoes because, like you just said, if you were doing potato and leek soup, you're adding leeks. That's elevating it.
Yeah.
Right.
But
this should
Zambians don't add things to Nshima.
Right, that's what I was just about to say. So this should just be, you'd have just Nshima
like
in a pot.
Even
just potato, a boiled potato.
South of the border,
a boiled potato.
when they make sadza, even that's better.
Sadza's Nshima?
Yeah, but there's like salt and butter and different things
yeah,
added
but in
to it.
Nshima you can do that. We just don't, like my auntie was talking, she sent a recipe the other day where she's like, oh, it makes it nice and smooth, add butter and all that. You've only had...
Yeah, but you've never done that.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
And you wouldn't do that.
Why break something why try to fix something that's not
so,
broken?
As I said, you won't do that. I was right.
No, what I'm saying is, I'm happy with how Nshima is. Therefore,
well,
if you were to say to me that with Nshima, I would be able to add butter and salt and do all those things, you're just proving my point that you can actually do other things. But for me to love Nshima so much that I will keep it with adding nothing else to it and keep it standard versus a boiled potato, I will go for Nshima every single day.
No. Also, you did say that you got sick of it.
Because I had it as a kid every single day and I had no choice.
But
what child?
With potatoes, you could have potatoes every day and it would still be something different.
Yeah, that was something different, but you get bored of it. Someone telling you can only have one food for years. You are not going to tell me that you would be happy just having potatoes for years.
I would.
No, you would
I mean,
not.
as a child, I only ate pizza or soup, so...
Yeah, pizza or soup, but that's also because it's you.
Yeah, but so in response to your question, would I be happy with the same thing? And then, yes.
But I don't think you'd be as happy with potatoes as you think you are.
Well, I would, because like you can do
had the choice to go back
various
to
different things.
And that's why I barely like rice.
Like
I didn't
mash,
even finish the meal yesterday.
Soup,
yeah, mash,
chips,
soup.
Dauphinoise, palmana, boulanger potatoes.
So in all these things, you need to add something to it to make it more exciting.
Which is what you do with Nshima.
But Nshima, the point I'm making with Nshima is, I wasn't having porridge Nshima, spiced up Nshima.
But would you, like, you're saying that as if that's a ridiculous thing to do, to say that adding things to it makes it better?
No, I'm not saying it's ridiculous. I'm saying that's
perfectly understandable.
That's how you said it.
Yeah, but to me it's mental that you don't even put salt in the Nshima.
And have you ever eaten it and thought it's lacking?
Yes. It's bland.
And yet you go back to eat all the time?
Yeah, because you have it with other stuff. So, to use your argument, you're saying, oh, but you add things to it. Yeah, in order for Nshima to be enjoyable, you must add things to it.
And in order for potatoes to be enjoyable, you must add things to
Yeah,
it, even
and
salt.
so the point is that you can add more things to more different types of potato, and therefore they are more enjoyable than Nshima.
No, I refuse completely on that.
I know you, because you
No.
never, even if you at some level think he's actually right, you're not going to do it. You're not going to agree
Not at all.
over some misguided sense of loyalty to.
No, not at all. Because like I said, as a child, there isn't a loyalty here. There's the understanding that I once turned around and said, I'm sick of this. And here I am as an adult, and now I eat Nshima more than ever. And I've cooked Nshima for myself. So knowing that I've had the choice to choose between something like a potato, which I love potatoes, don't get me wrong, would I go with Nshima or potatoes? I would go with Nshima every day because I feel like I can enjoy that. Even if I was to have the same meal every day with Nshima and the same meal with potatoes every day, it's still Nshima.
Well, you could just have plain chips versus plain Nshima. What's going to be more enjoyable?
But that's why I'm saying that's not a like for like
Well,
comparison.
no, it is, because it's one product cooked. So it's cooked and that's it. So Nshima, a bowl of Nshima cooked, or a bowl of chips, which is essentially fried potato.
I've not tried the sadza that has the, like you said, the, what do you call it, butter and the salt. So I can't answer that question. I can't answer it honestly.
Imagine.
Yeah, you can say imagine, but I don't know what that's going to taste like because, like I said, I like the blandness of Nshima because how it elevates everything else. With a chip, yeah, you've currently got a point. With a chip, but if you don't add salt to chips and you just eat them as they are, I would not enjoy that. Well, no, because it'd be very bland.
No.
You're telling me no sauce, no salt, just a fried chip, you'll just eat that?
Yeah, over a bowl of plain Nshima.
I feel like you should have this, and you should have a challenge now where you go a week where you just eat a fried chip, nothing else added to it, because even the oil makes it taste slightly different.
It's still a cooked potato versus cooked corn.
No, I feel you should do boiled potatoes. I think this is the only
Delicious.
way. This is the only way that me and you can solve this. Is by me eating just Nshima every single day and you eating just potatoes every single day. Now, neither of us are giving because we both know what the other person's like.
It might not be good for your bowel movements either.
Probably not.
So I'm going to bow out of that challenge. But I guess we're probably at a point where we can make a decision because you're not going to accept logic. So
I'm not going to accept
logic. You might
logic.
as well. So what are you going to get rid of?
I'm getting rid of potatoes.
Well, I'm getting rid of Nshima.
Racist. You know you're going to have to learn to cook Nshima for our child as well.
Fair enough.
Let's see carry on with all that. But that's what I mean. You can work away and try all the different things, but for us it's not broken, so don't try and fix it. You can try and do whatever you want. So yeah, you're sticking with get rid of Nshima. I just find that funny because if anything at the moment, like yesterday, we turned up and Mum had beans on the pot on the hob, and we didn't end up having Nshima. I know, but
delicious rice.
Yeah, I don't like rice.
You do like rice?
Not really. I like fried rice, but rice in general. Like I got to a point where I was like, I don't even need to make myself ill. That's how you know that that's not my favourite. If that was pasta or that was Nshima, I would have made myself feel ill. Like I went look in the freezer there, I was like, what do we have that can make me feel a sense of, all right, I'm full and happy. Because rice doesn't do that to me.
Well, you're wrong, but anyway, on you go.
Yeah, because you love rice.
Yep.
I'm just going to pick let's see what we've got. Okay, so my girlfriend, female 26, told me, male 28, she doesn't think she will ever be able to love me as much as she loved her ex. How would you handle this situation? Me and my girlfriend celebrated our 1-year anniversary this Saturday, and after a few glasses of wine, we decided to reveal our deepest secret as a sign of commitment. Bloody hell. She basically told me that she believes her ex-boyfriend was her one and true love in life, and she doesn't believe she'll be able to love anyone ever again as deeply as she loved him. They were together for over 6 years. She lost her virginity to him. It was basically her first serious relationship, but in the end, she broke up with him when he wouldn't take the next step, move in together and propose. For years, even after they talked about it multiple times. She was depressed for months after the breakup, lost a job, gained weight. When she told me this, I felt heartbroken, even though I am ashamed to admit this. I think my love for her faded a bit after learning that she will never love me as much as she loved someone before me. We talked about it a bit more today. She told me she loves me and is happy with me, and also she doesn't regret breaking up with him and never even thought about going back to him, but I can't help myself but feel heartbroken. I feel I am just a worse replacement, a band aid over a deep wound. Am I overthinking this? How would you handle this situation?
Like this. Bye.
Would you?
Well, how are you supposed to react to that? Oh, that's great news. I'm so glad you told me.
Yeah, I don't think anyone would react positively to it.
Yeah. So what's the point in continuing that relationship?
Well, be careful what you wish for, I guess. If you're talking about deepest, darkest secrets, at the end of the day, she's being honest. And again, this is just where not if right. This is what I've heard. She was with someone for over 6 years, her first serious relationship, and the person that she lost her virginity to. So to say I don't think I could ever love someone the way that I loved them, I don't think that's the craziest thing you could ever say. Not saying it was dealt with in the right
I think
situation.
I would rather she told me she killed a guy once.
Yeah, I do feel like there are certain things maybe you keep to yourself or you say them in a different way. Also,
She has essentially ruined that relationship by telling him
she
that.
has.
Because it's never going to be the same after that. And let's face it, it's not going to survive that conversation. It'll slowly erode away at that guy inside.
Yeah.
To me, that was like game over, no more lives.
Yeah,
again.
I don't get what she thought she was doing by telling him that. Because even if you feel like that, that's not something you say like that. Because, for example, me and you have sat and talked about previous relationships and like the things that you learn from other people. Your past is your past. And what I read there was she said she doesn't regret breaking up. She broke up with him. I think if he'd have broken up with her, my answer would be completely different. And again, I'm not saying don't leave, but she broke up with him. She knew why she was breaking up with him. Maybe she's also just not over him.
Yeah.
I think sometimes there's a level of without having more context. It's yes, I would say.
We don't need any more context. We'll have all the context you need.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. As in, without having anything else, fair enough. Yes, he should walk away because he's never going to get over this, and his ego's wounded. However, that doesn't mean that she doesn't love him, and it's not coming from a place of her moving on. Do you know what I mean?
Fair enough, but she shouldn't have told him that.
Yeah, she shouldn't have told him that. Like, that's a very silly thing to do.
So my initial response was correct. They should end it and both try and lead happier lives. One of them needs to deal with their past and move on, and the other guy needs to just move on.
Yeah, but that's not exactly what you said. At first, you just said a very blunt thing. You did a you.
Yeah, you should just wave bye-bye to it.
Yeah, but that's the whole point of these. Like, you dig a little bit deeper into it. And the deep in...
Yeah, well, I've dug a little deeper and my response is the same.
Yeah, but with just a bit more context on your end. That both of them need to be happier and do a little bit more work.
Yeah,
on themselves.
I stand by my original point that they need to just go their separate ways.
Yeah. Doesn't seem like either of them is okay. Also, she's 26.
I know, she's getting old. She'll soon be over the hill.
Getting over the hill. I'm just looking at some of these other comments.
Yeah, we don't need to discuss other comments.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just...
Because anybody who says anything different than what I have said is incorrect.
Yeah, I just feel like it's a really weird thing to say to someone that like she said there, that she loves him. Look, I'm all for. Do you know the only reason that I was saying it the way that I was saying it is because I knew that like how I am, and I'd want to be completely honest about something, but also it's never something that I'd like. You don't get into a relationship if that's how you feel. Like that's 1 year in. That's odd. Well, there you go. Good luck to the guy that sent this message in, because that must be a crap situation.
Yep.
Wild.
Need to get on Tinder. Get out there again.
Well, no, because we've talked about Tinder.
I know.
You shouldn't get on Tinder. He wants a relationship. He needs to get on Hinge like we did.
Yep.
And hopefully find the one like you did.
Of course.
No, like we did. All right, perfect. Thank you. Right, we will leave it there with you guys then. Perfect. Keep liking, subscribing, leaving comments, letting us know if you want to see, hear anything else. And if you're not on our socials, you will find us on Life by Chicken G, Property by Chicken G. I love how you don't even know all these
That's
things.
too many. You should just send them to the TikTok.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying Life by Chicken G and Property by Chicken G. But if you search Chick and G, CHIK and G, then whatever you need will come up. Instagram, it's 2. TikTok, it's just 1. Yeah. Marketing. Split it up on purpose. Right, we will see you guys in a couple of weeks. Bye.